Hello. So, Turkish apricots. These little like dehydrated apricots. They don't have added sugar. They're just like a little apricot that's dried out and has like some kind of little preservative, right? I've been eating them a lot lately and they're super good. I really like them. They have a lot of good minerals and vitamins and all that kind of stuff too. But like, I don't think I would have liked them a while ago when I was eating candy, right? Because they're not super consistent. Like candy, you get it and it's consistent. You can just mind-numbingly just throw it in your mouth and it always tastes good. It always tastes the same, right? It's always predictable. And it's like just processed to that point where it's like great, right? And you get this kind of a little bit more of a high off of sugar. Sugar can give you this kind of peak, like, I don't know what it does. It releases certain chemicals in your brain, just this feel good thing, right? But it's a higher high, right? But I was thinking about how the fact that we have so many things that are sugar and there's so many things in like the foods, I'm like, it's really lame that it robs us of the ability like to enjoy things that are actually kind of good for us. Like with the Turkish apricots, when I eat a couple of them, I'm good. Like I don't have that same like where I eat more and more and I'm like, why did I eat so many of these that I do with sugar? And which I remember with pineapple, dehydrated pineapple, they add all the sugar to it, and so I would eat those and I'm like, this is just as bad as candy, you know. But like um I think that like for me when I was eating some today and I was thinking about it and I was because I have to like pay attention, look at them, like pick out sometimes little pieces that are a little bit like gonna have a funky texture or something, and it's just different eating real fruit, but like thinking how good they are if I hadn't had sugar, and now that I don't really have sugar anymore because sugar I've had too many um, bad experiences. I'm not. I do eat sugar, I guess. Like I'm not one of those people. I don't cut it out of everything, and I just stopped eating candy and stuff like most of the time. Like just because like it wasn't something I went out to do. It was just like I have health issues, and when I eat those things, a lot of times I start going, yeah, that's not worth it. I don't feel good, and so a lot of stuff has. I don't want to say I don't eat sugar because that's not true. I just avoid a lot of stuff I used to eat a lot of, and so I've I've just started eating more stuff that this actually tastes good now. I've gotten enough of the sugar and the candy stuff that out of my daily life to where I can taste that these taste good, right? And whereas before I would have been like by comparison, these don't taste very good, right? I need more sugar and I need more high. And as I was thinking about that, it was just the metaphor that came out. Like this is like the things of the Lord, the Word of God, right? Like these things that like we get so used to things that give us this thrill, right? This high kind of, and um, and the things of the Lord aren't quite like that. There's more of a peace and a gentleness, and I like how Oswald Chambers says it about the Word of God. He says the Word of God doesn't thrill; it nourishes, and it's like in order to taste and see that the Lord is good, sometimes we need a little bit of a palate cleanser. We need some time to let the peaks and the from other stuff in our lives, like the thrills, the excitement, the approval from others, the excitement of going on certain trips or whatever it is, like whatever it is that gives us these high feelings, even satisfaction of things, like, and it can even be a spiritual thing, like where we're doing things in a way where we really feel like we're able to really check things off of our list, like I'm doing this as a good Christian, I'm doing this, and it's giving us this you know puffing us up a little bit in a way that's giving us that high. And for me, because I have history of substance abuse in my past, like and I went going to Walter Hoving home, where basically that was my little like resensitization chamber. And like at first I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to live like life like this? Like everything's so boring, lame, I'm not excited, it's all dull. And then like once I kind of everything reset, I had a palate cleanser while being there. Suddenly things that never tasted good to me tasted good. Like spending the time in the Word was tasted good. It wasn't like thrilling, it wasn't exciting like a lot of the other things I did, but it was like a gentle swell, like a build, a slow build of like, wow, this is really good. And it just changed me. And it was, but I couldn't have tasted it that way if I hadn't been able to get away from the other things. Like if I hadn't, there were too many things in my life that I had control over that I could make myself have that high. But every one of those highs is not just a high, it's a pendulum, and so it's like, you get one high and then you get the low equal amount. Like no matter how high it is, that's how low it's going to swing. And I feel like that's kind of the pattern of so many things in our life. And I think that's part of the way that the things of the Lord are. They're not that swing, because there is still a swing. Like, we have a good thing, we see something exciting in the word, and then we see all these things, and then you go, like, for me, I think so often of that passage that's like, where oh gosh, I always forget if it's in Revelation, if it's John, but he basically says, like, take and eat this scroll. It's going to be sweet in your mouth, but it's going to turn your stomach sour. And I always think of that being sometimes when the Lord shows us something, or we get this thing from the Lord, and a revelation of something, or a aha moment, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, wow. And then you go and it tastes sweet. And then you go and you tell somebody, or you start trying to live it out in this world, and people are, they reject it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want it. Nobody, and it's like that, it sours in your stomach a little bit. And it's like, oh, there's always a little, but it's not necessarily like the way that the Lord does it. Those highs aren't so high that the lows are that low, right? And, but that gentle swing, those gentle up and down, like that help keep us more centered and able to be sensitive to the Lord. It's very difficult to discern them if we're very used to the way that the world does things, with super high highs and super low lows. And because I think there's also an inclination when we learn how to get a certain high, we kind of feel like, well, if we could just keep it up here, if we could just pin it, but that's not the nature of the pendulum. It's going to swing back. And it's like learning to resist those thrill things, and those super high good feelings, or those heroic feelings, or whatever it is that gives us that high feeling, because because we don't want the swing back, right? And I think that for me, that nourishment, that the stillness, the peace, the that being able to be still and know that He is God, it doesn't give a thrill. Like when the Lord, and there's things going on in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all this, and then I have to like choose what to do, and of course I want to be able to fix it, I want to solve it, I want to do, or I want to make myself feel better and run away, or whatever, I want to do something that's going to give me that immediate good feeling. But like, be still and know that I am God. There's no thrill in that. But if I have myself to do it, there is a peace that comes, and it's way more nourishing than those thrilling things that I usually would do, right? And so, I don't know. I just think that it's a metaphor to be pondered, right? I don't have answers for everything. Like, this is just something that was percolating in me, and as I was eating the apricots, and I was just thinking, yeah, this is an important thing for us to be aware of in our lives, right? Because the world is so throwing thrills at us a mile a minute. Like, everything is extreme, or throwing fears at us, or trying to make you scared, and then, well, you could be all terrified, but then this is what you do, and like, oh, good, and it's like, it just does, like, like advertising, all the kind of stuff. It's just blah, right? And so, but it's so, we can get so lost in those extreme emotions and those extreme things that we don't hear that still small voice, and that we cannot taste and see that the Lord is good, because our palate hasn't been cleansed enough to be able to taste it, to see, because it's more subtle. It's not what we've been having, because the world like spoon feeds us all of this like processed stuff, like perfect, factory made food that always tastes exactly the same. But that's not how the Lord does things, and yeah, I just thought it was a good thing to contemplate. And yeah, I'm not trying to sell Turkish apricots, but they are pretty good, if you're into that kind of thing.